Imagine this: a vicious alien attack, an ambush that leaves no survivors, a soldier on the verge of death, and then salvation. Not from another warrior, but from an entirely new species, the humans. They rescue you, treat your wounds, and offer you a chance at life you thought you'd never have. This is the story of Lena, a scout for the Iliria Defense Forces, and her unexpected journey with Ethan Scott, a human soldier whose compassion would change everything she ever believed about survival. Lena woke to a new world. Her mind barely grasped the chaos she had just survived, the invasion of the Zorath, a ruthless insectoid species that slaughtered her squad mates and destroyed everything she had ever known. She had fought with all her might, but in the end, she was left for dead. Her body broken and her soul shattered, she thought it was the end. But fate had other plans. When Lena opened her eyes, she found herself aboard the human ship Aegis, surrounded by advanced technology and an unfamiliar yet oddly comforting presence. Standing over her was Ethan Scott, a human soldier whose rugged face and blue eyes were filled with warmth and care. This encounter, this moment, would forever change the course of Lena's life. Lena's first instinct was to reach for her abdomen, where the Zorath had slashed her, but instead of blood and pain, she found soft, white bandages. Her vision swam as the bright lights of the medical bay blurred her surroundings. She saw machines, flashing lights, and a figure leaning over her. "Easy there," a deep voice said, gentle but firm. "You're safe now. I'm Ethan Scott, but you can call me Ethan. You're aboard the Aegis." Lena struggled to speak, her mouth parched, but Ethan handed her a small, cylindrical container. "Drink this slowly," he advised, and the cool liquid soothed her throat, allowing her to croak out, Where am I?" "We received your distress signal," Ethan explained. "We arrived just in time to find your outpost overrun by the Zorath. Unfortunately, there were few survivors, but we managed to save you and a handful of others." Survivors. Lena's heart sank as she thought of her squad, her friends. But amidst the grief, she couldn't help but wonder how these humans, these strange beings, had managed to save her. As the days passed, Lena's body healed, but it wasn't just her injuries that were mended. She learned more about the humans aboard the Aegis, a ship part of the United Terran Forces, UTF. This was a people with a reputation for courage and compassion, a people who, despite being newcomers to the galactic stage, showed an unwavering commitment to helping others. Ethan, who had saved her life, became her guide in this strange new world. Every day, he visited her in the medical bay, offering food, teaching her about human culture, and listening to her attempts at describing her own world, Iliria, a harsh planet where survival was all that mattered. But even more than the lessons of survival, Ethan spoke of humanity's greatest strength: unity. "We've learned," Ethan told Lena one day, "that we're all in this together, no matter where we're from. We help each other because in the end, we're all we've got." Lena didn't fully understand. She had been taught that strength was about domination, survival of the fittest, and letting the weak perish. But with every conversation with Ethan, with every act of kindness, she began to wonder if there was more to strength than she had been taught. As Lena's strength returned, so did the doubts. What was her purpose now? Her squad was gone, her outpost destroyed, and Iliria, her home, no longer felt like a place she could return to. Would she go back to fight a never-ending war for a government that cared little for her or anyone else? It was one evening, as they sat in the Aegis's hydroponic gardens, that Lena shared her uncertainty with Ethan. "I feel lost. I've been given a second chance, but I don't know what to do with it," she admitted. Ethan, ever patient, thought for a moment before speaking. "You know, there are still hundreds down on Vera 7 who need help. The Zorath left the survivors with nothing. Many are injured, and many more are displaced. They could use our help." Lena was shocked. "You're going back there? After everything that happened?" "We're going back," Ethan confirmed, his voice steady and resolute. "The Aegis may be a warship, but our primary mission is to help, to make sure that when people are in need, we're there, and I think you're needed there too." Lena hesitated, but the sincerity in his eyes was undeniable. Slowly, she nodded. "Okay, let's go be the light." And so it was decided. Lena, once lost and broken, now found a new purpose. She wasn't just going to watch as the universe collapsed around her, she was going to fight for something more than herself. The scene on Vera 7 was worse than Lena had imagined. The devastation was beyond anything she had ever seen. The Zorath had left the planet in ruins, and the survivors were struggling to survive in makeshift camps, without proper care or resources. But the humans, led by Ethan, were there to help. They worked tirelessly, offering medical care, distributing food, and helping to rebuild what had been lost. It wasn't easy, but Lena felt something she had never known before: hope. She watched as the people of Vera 7 began to trust again, slowly but surely, thanks to the compassion of Ethan and the Aegis crew. Her people, who had once been wary of the humans, were starting to understand that perhaps there was another way, one that didn't rely on violence but on unity and compassion. Through it all, Lena and Ethan's bond deepened. They were no longer just allies or even friends. There was something more between them, something unspoken but undeniable. One night, as they watched the twin moons of Vera 7 rise over the horizon, Ethan turned to Lena and asked, "What will you do when this mission is over?" Lena felt a lump in her throat. "I don't know," she said softly. "The Aegis feels like home now. But what if I don't want to leave?" Ethan smiled, his eyes warm. "I'm glad you feel that way, because I think you have a place here, with us. The Aegis could use someone like you. The Concordance could use someone like you." Lena looked at him, her heart racing. "I want to stay. I want to be a part of this." "Then welcome aboard," Ethan said, his voice filled with warmth and pride. "We're all in this together." Lena's journey had come full circle. From a soldier fighting to survive, she had become a protector, a healer, and a beacon of hope. She had found a new purpose, one that transcended the harsh realities of her past. And with Ethan by her side, she knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. For as long as the stars burned bright, Lena had finally found her true path.